Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. In this verse of Ashtavakra Gita, Ashtavakra tells us all the self-realized, liberated, wise man does not bother about the mundane duties of this material universe or is not bothered about a sense of duty towards this universe. He or she abides in the self and lives happily. Sort of confusing provided you understand what Ashtavakra tries to say. There are two types of duties. One is material and the other is spiritual. This material duty and a sense of doing this duty or a responsibility towards this duty is felt by all those living entities who identify with the mind body complex. 90 to 95% of living entities, or I can say at least 90, there could be more, but there cannot be less, percent of living entities of this material universe identify with this mind body complex. Because they identify with the mind body complex, they are worried about a sense of duty in this material world. Let us first talk about these people. These people think that a birth in this material universe is a gift from God for them, and hence they should use a particular birth very diligently. It is absolutely correct that a birth is a gift from God, but accepting or recognizing one's sense of duty is very, very important. If the sense of duty is towards some material work, then it is not exactly the sense of duty that a living entity is supposed to carry out. The actual sense of duty is to take a giant leap into the infinite spiritual world, which is far, far, far bigger than this material universe. But alas, very few do so. Now, a living entity who is identifying with his or her material mind body complex thinks about and has a sense of duty which is mundane towards the following. As a baby, he or she is born. The first few years are playful and carefree. Then the sense of duty begins with education, going to school, going to college, getting a qualification, getting a professional qualification or otherwise, attending interviews and written examinations, entrance examinations, etc., getting a decent job, then getting married, raising a family, earning money for not only himself or herself but also for the family, and then getting the son or daughter married, helping them settle down, and so on. This goes on till Vanapasta, where a particular living entity goes to pilgrimages, does some charity, etc., so that his or her next birth in this miserable material universe could be better than it was this time. But the final and the most important ashrama for a materially inclined living entity is sannyasa. Sannyasa is an opportunity for every living entity to take a giant leap into the spiritual world. But alas, 90% of the people don't do that. It's only 10% who think about self realization, liberation, and pray that they should not get a material birth in their next birth. Such people are spiritual, and when they become spiritual, they may not get a gross body next time, but they may be born in the etheric body, astral body, causal body, etc., according to their qualifications and their responsibilities and what they deserve. Usually, people who don't want a gross body come to the etheric world from where they qualify into the astral world, and from there to the causal world till they reach soul where there is no birth. Once they become souls, these living entities who have started to identify themselves as the soul go to Godhead, meditate on God, and pray to Him to take them as their servant. Here also there is a long wait. Ultimately, though it is very, very pleasurable or something which gives a lot of bliss for every devotee to even wait to become a servant of God, ultimately God condescends to make a particular guy at least an intern. Then that person graduates to training, and from there he or she goes further. Now, a servant of God, whether intern, trainee, or others, they are in the form of either renunciants, sannyasis, maharishis, rishis, saints, godmen, etc., in the human form, or they become celestial beings like angels, demigods, etc. It depends on the capacity and the qualification of a particular living entity. Now, a sense of duty becomes spiritual. Such people incarnate into this material world only to satisfy God. They come here on an assignment to serve the society. From now or before this, even the moment they became spiritual, They stop living for themselves. They are happy that there is no material birth again. What looked as a gift some time before is now a punishment. Now they don't want to have their own birth or their own life. They come here, incarnate into this material world only to satisfy God and to carry out His assignments. They may be anything, but they are good for the humanity. They are given the required amount of authority to carry out this duty. And as soon as the assignment is over, they need not remain in this material world even for 1 second. They go back to Godhead to wait, pray for another assignment, but even that is spiritual bliss. Waiting for another assignment is far more pleasurable than getting a birth in this material world. Such people are spiritual, self realized, liberated, and delivered. They complete an assignment with the authority that they have got and the talent required in such a way, so speedily and efficiently, that they set an example for the mortals to emulate. We all know this, that many of the godmen came here, completed their assignments surprisingly fast, and went back, and we were all left here in this miserable universe to emulate such people. Jesus Christ went was crucified at the age of 32. Adi Shankaracharya 32. Vivekananda 40. Swami Yogananda Paramahansa 59, and so on. These are people who came here, completed their assignment, and as soon as it was over, they went back to Godhead, leaving a life as an example, their own life as an example for us mortals to emulate. This is what Ashtavakra tries to tell in this verse. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.